Right, we're live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are back for the fifth place semi-final fixture between Samoa and Australia. The winner of this contest will go on to have one last game of the Sydney Sevens. The one who loses this game, unfortunately, their Sydney Sevens will be over at the moment. We have got Tonga versus Kenya taking place. The team that will be facing up against the winner of this contest, though, will either be Ireland or I want to say Great Britain is the other side in the hunt at this point. But looking through at Samoa's starting lineup, they will have Va'a, Pilo Maliko, Moto Opitai, Taunuu Naulivaia, Paul Scanlon, Malani Matavao, Tuna Tuitama, and also Fa'afoi Falaniko. So a very strong side. You can tell that Samoa want to win this contest and make their way through and possibly take out that fifth place position. Looking through at Australia's side, it will be Nathan Lawson, Henry Patterson, Tim Clements, Maurice Longbottom, Josh Turner, Dietrich Roach, and also James Turner, the speedster, out on the wing. So unfortunately for Australia, they've had a couple injuries. Same can be said about Samoa. In this matchup, we don't see Hutchinson for Australia. We don't see Sione for the Samoans. But either way, still going to be a very hard-hitting affair for the first match we are covering of the day. We have got Nazi Williams in the chat. Go Usos in there as well. And currently, I want to say Samoa come in as slight favourites. They did lose their game of the quarterfinals up against New Zealand 12-0. Australia were defeated in the end by France, who did look very good, which is why they have gone on to face up against New Zealand in the semi-final just a little bit later on tonight. And also when they're playing, they are going to be playing in about 4 minutes' time or so. This game between Kenya and Tonga is almost over, and it looks like it will be the Tongans who are able to get themselves that victory. But yeah, this game very close to kicking off, and go Samoa, says Chris R. Charles. Do let me know your score predictions in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. Looking at the benches, it will be Poeti Slater, Levi Milford, Noeli Letufia, Owen Nue, also BJ Lima. Now, I have to say, Owen Nue, I'm surprised he's not starting this match, but I can understand why they've decided to have him come off the bench, as he is a real impact player. We're talking tries galore, and maybe late in this contest, he might be just what the Manu Samoans need to be able to get them over the line. Australia, Simon Kenningwell, also Stuart Dunbar, Lancaster, then Ben Maher, and Delhi Bird, the last man. Peter Stowers is going for Samoa as well. It seems like at the moment you'd say Samoa are the fan favourites by the looks of it. And also in the poll, they are favourites to be able to go on and win this match as well. But Va'a Pilo Maliko, I really do hope that he has got no injury at the moment, because yesterday it seemed like that knee was giving him a little bit of pain. It's Tonga versus Kenya first. Yep, that game has got 50 seconds left, and then it is going to be all finished. Although Kenya now going to score a try near the end of the game. They might have to go to golden point here, or at least maybe we might see a possible last-minute win. And go Samoa, says Rose the Unicorn. The Tuna Tuitama, he's a big man, and he should certainly be able to use that size to his advantage. I think him versus Henry Patterson is something that when they run at each other, it's definitely going to hurt someone. Maurice Longbottom, he was absolutely yelling at his Australian side throughout that quarterfinal up against the French. It just wasn't quite enough in the end, though. But they will be looking to go on and beat Samoa here. It's going to be tough, but we have seen it done before. Australia versus Samoa, normally a little bit of a 50-50 affair when they do play off. And also we have got there Vivi in the chat. Said, go Manu Samoa. Fa'amalosi Usos, says Peter Stowers in the chat as well. So also, alongside your score predictions, everyone, be sure to let me know who you think will be the first try scorer of this matchup. I'm going to go Paul Scanlon as my first try scorer, mainly because if he gets any sort of gap in the defensive line, he's definitely going to be going for it. And also, Dan Kenya almost won, says Rose the Unicorn. They fought back pretty well in that matchup. And go Samoa, says Rose the Unicorn. And also, good luck, Mihuso. Good afternoon, boss, says Blues Nate. I've learned, Nate, that the Royal Rumble is actually today, and it's already been, so be sure not to put any spoilers. We will be watching that probably straight after this matchup. But yeah, me and George, we were going to do a watch along tomorrow on the channel, but then it's actually today. Unfortunately, I believe in Samoa as the Unicorn. And also we have got there, go Manu. Says Vivi there, and go the Blues. Says Whanau, and go Manu, all the best. Says Alofa, and afternoon also Hamish. Good luck, Australia. All the best, Samoa. And that's the thing. Both of these sides know how to put on a great game. And they'll both be disappointed with how their quarterfinal matches went. But they know that they've still got games left under their belt to try and improve. Like I mentioned, whoever wins this game goes through to the next stage, and that is going to be playing off the fifth place. And in my preview for the Samoa Sevens side, I actually did say I think Samoa They're going to fight hard throughout their group stage. They're going to make it through, but unfortunately get knocked out in the quarterfinals and then go on a winning streak to get 5th. So at the moment, I've got the first couple parts right, but I need them to go on their winning streak now. And I do hope they are able to do so. But now they are just showing the Australian starting lineup in the background at Allianz Stadium, which means we're only less than a minute away from these two sides making their way out onto the park. Tuna Tuitama, I've mentioned his name quite a bit. I did see him in that quarterfinal. Didn't quite have his best game. Unfortunately, his decision-making was a little bit off. He'd sometimes kick it when they should have run it. He'd sometimes run it when he should have passed it. So you'd think that now maybe this is the game that he does go a lot better. It's looking a little bit overcast in Sydney, I should mention, which will be quite nice for the players as it was extremely warm yesterday under the heat. And it looks like Maurice Longbottom currently got a little bit of sweat dripping down the forehead. Go the Manus. There's Essie there. And now charging out onto the field. Samoa versus Australia. A match, once again, any match with Samoa in it could be the equivalent of a final. And you know that it's going to be an entertaining one. It's just going to be the case of who's able to have the better 14 minutes and make their way through. Is there a little bit of rain around? I think I might have seen a drip on the camera, but it could have also been maybe a player with a water bottle or sweat or something might have caught the cameraman. But it's looking a little bit overcast in Sydney. Maybe a little bit of rain scheduled for later on. Sides will be having flashbacks to Cape Town when it was absolutely pouring down with rain. But I've got the lights on at Allianz Stadium. Samoa Sevens, if you want to win, to make sure no discipline, says Herman. Exactly right. Samoa in the breakdown, if they can get a couple turnovers, it will be massive for the momentum of this game. But if they end up giving away a penalty in the process, that is something that could definitely play into Australia's factor. They're a quick side. James Turner out on the wing is one of the quickest players in world rugby today. And if he gets space, he's gone. The Samoa need to realise that, try and get it down the other wing. But then you've got Henry Patterson, the big man, kicked off by Samoa, just goes to 10. And Samoa almost retained their own kickoff, but then Falaneko did end up knocking that ball on. In fact, I've said that it was first of all an Australian knock on, and then it was Samoa. So it will be the Samoan scrum about 35 metres out from the Australian line. Hit the like, subscribe if you're new to the Kiwi Lads. Welcome in, everyone, says Blues Nate. And I should mention we've got 2 more live streams later on tonight that are already scheduled. Those are going to be the semi-final fixtures between New Zealand and France, and then South Africa versus Fiji. And then alongside that, we have also got the finals later on, a little bit at about 10:30, I believe the final is going to be. But Samoa with the chance. Scanlon goes on the outside to Falaneko. Now Tuna Tuitama tries to step inwards. Scanlon back to the left-hand side. Matavao goes now to Motu Opitai, who loops back around to Matavao. Should mention that they haven't got a Valvasa Apasua or Unisioni in this matchup, but they still have their 2 remaining co-captains. It's good to see that Pauiti Slater and Scanlon both still able to play. Motu Opitai almost went through. Good low tackle made by Josh Turner. Pilo Maleko. Now short side, Falaneko almost able to skid his way through the gap. The ball's come loose. Pilo Maleko picks it up on the short side, and he will score the try. Samoa strike first in the contest. Hello to everyone all the way from South Africa. Welcome in, Grant. Early morning start for yourself. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're excited for South Africa versus Fiji. Just a little bit later on in the day. Long bottom does indeed have a long bottom, says Spacebar. How can you tell if someone's got a long bottom? Like, what is I don't know what the average size in length would be, Spacebar. You know, like, how do you measure that? But it is going to be the try for Samoa. It's going to be a tough kick near the touchline. Should almost be doable. And Maleko 2 scores first, I reckon, says Nazi Williams. It is going to be 5-0 now to Pilo Maleko. Yep. Didn't manage to get himself that try. And I was like, oh, says Nazi Williams about 3 seconds later. And I was like, Liz is very happy with that one. Samoa score guy says Rose, the unicorn. But now it is going to be Milani Matavao. Nice boys, says Quay. Or Q, it might be actually, sorry. Kicks it off. Milani Matavao. Linear height on that one. Little bit of miscommunication, but Longbottom is able to eventually grab that ball for the Australians. Now Dietrich Roche will be playing halfback. Now, they don't actually have the scoreboard up at the moment, so I can't tell you guys how much time is left in the game, but I'm sure once the whistle blows, we will know. Now it is going to be Josh Turner again. Maurice Longbottom, one more. Out to Lawson. Gives it to Patterson, two of the bigger Australian players linking up there. And it's going to be another penalty. That time it is for not rolling away. And now looking short side. Maurice Longbottom inside ball to Lawson. Doesn't quite find the pass, and Scanlon tries to swat it back, but Australia take it straight back. Now they've got a scoreboard. 4 minutes left in the first half. Now, Dietrich Roach gets back up, tries to go again. This could be Samoa's ball. Is it for Tuna Tuitama? No. Elbows on the ground, giving away that penalty. And now Australia once again get that momentum back for their attack. Patterson, the big man, does a step. Did he grub her or did he drop it? He just dropped it cold. I thought he went for a little grubber, and I was thinking for a big man, that's a risky tactic when you're that close to the line. But he just slipped through the hands, unfortunately. What happens here? He does a step, and then he just knocks it onto his own thigh, and it bounces free. And also, is this for fifth place? Not quite. The winner of this game will take on the winner of Ireland versus Great Britain, and that will be for fifth place. But whoever loses this game no longer has any more matches, which is why, of course, both these sides want to be able to keep playing. 2 handling errors so far from the Australians. We see, I believe that's Great Britain warming up in the background, getting ready for their clash with the Irish, which is actually the next match that has taken place. Samoa 5 meters out from their line. This is going to be a tricky one to try and work down the field. Might even be a good time to kick if you're Samoa, depending on how much pressure Australia try and put on. And that's a huge amount of it. And it's the knock on from Samoa. So brilliant work from Maurice Longbottom. Gets the turnover straight away. And now Samoa are going to have to defend from only 5 meters out their line. And also tackle, says Liz Marie. All right, gotta love the Sevens. Says Spacebar. Certainly do. 3-day competition rather than the 2 like we saw last week. So it's absolutely awesome that we're going to get to catch every match live as it happens. Now 3 minutes left of the half, and Australia now once again find themselves just out from the Samoan line. Maurice Longbottom feeds the ball in for Australia. This time, it's a good opportunity, goes wide. Dakin, Dietrich Roach drops the ball. Is there some dew around, or is it just very slippery? Now Tuna Tuitama spins the ears back. He's got Matavao on his inside. Doesn't like passing that, man. I'm wondering whether or not that is something that they'll try and develop as he continues to get better. And Sevens, great step from the Oliveira. And now he will be able to run it in for the Samoans. Or will he? Yes, he does. Just manages to make it. And about to put the ball down, just catching his breath, getting his teammate, patting him on the back. And he puts it down. It's the try for the Samoans. Oh. There a bit of push and shove? Maybe. There was a bit of booing going on, but Dietrich Roach this time ends up dropping the ball. Then James Turner ends up cleaning up his teammate Dietrich Roach. Now Oliveira with a brilliant step. And then just enough pace to be able to run it in. So now Samoa 10 up. This should make it 12. Sitting in a good position at the moment to be able to go on and get themselves this victory. Malani Matavao puts the ball over. 90 seconds left in the first half, and it is 12-0 for the Samoan boys. They will be eagerly awaiting to see who they will be facing, whether that is Ireland or whether that is Team GB. Either way, the Samoans want to take out 5th place. Like they've just said, could have been 14 points to the Australians, but they have blown their opportunities. Unfortunately, dropping the ball at the wrong time can be extremely costly. Going to be kicked off, just goes the 10. Another handling error from Australia. This time it goes backwards though. Motuapichai tries for the counter ruck. Maurice Longbottom has Fa'afoi Falaniko all over him. He lost his footing though and did decide to crawl forward. So it does end up being the penalty. And also thanks to everyone. Have a great one to take care. There's Grant there, so we will see you later on, mate. Oh, this is going to be a yellow card. Unfortunately for Samoa. Deliberately slowing it down. Motu Opitai now it's going to be off the field for the next 2 minutes. This game, that's the last thing they wanted at this point in time, Samoa, is to give away a penalty like that. Maurice Longbottom doesn't really need to shout at the referee the way that he did there. He was given the yellow card anyway. Now, Josh Turner back across to Dietrich Roach. 30 seconds left in this first half. One more ball out wide, and it's going to be the youngster, number 23, Darby Lancaster. The player we haven't seen a huge amount of before the Sevens leg. Samoa win themselves that penalty. And Pilomaliko considered taking quickly instead. They think more strategic about it. They've got a man down They have to make sure they hang on to it for just a little bit longer. And now they've taken the tap. Milani Matavao going back across. Deva'a Pilomaleko. Once again, he's tried to milk that penalty for getting taken out, but he wasn't. Now at the moment, the foot race is on. Australia end up with that ball inside of their 22. Samoa over the ball. They win the penalty. Now, Va'a Pilomaleko takes the quick tap. They've got numbers on the left-hand side. Noeli Vaia for the corner. Scores it again. And he'll get a second of the match. I believe they're going to have to check this one just to make sure that it is a legal try. But I believe now Samoa, even with the man advantage, may have just found themselves a little bit further in the lead. Boys, keep pushing. There's ESC there. Right, they're just checking this one. He isn't too close to the touch line. He stays in the field of play. And he slams that ball down. Samoa does score their third try of the match. And we've got the Samoan flags show from Liz Marie there. Just had enough control of the ball. 17-0 at halftime is how this game is setting up, ladies and gentlemen. Samoa have gone out on an absolute tear for this game. And the kick is just wide out to the left-hand side. At end of the half. 17-0. Great start to the match for Samoa. Australia, they've had opportunities. They have unfortunately just been putting that ball down. Handling errors at this point of the competition are very costly. In fifth place, Uso Sesasangi. So if they win this game, they then will go on to face off against Ireland or Team Great Britain. And then, whoever wins that game gets fifth. So that would actually make my prediction right if Samoa do end up winning that one. And also we have got there Yodele says, no, a little bit of, what's that called? Yodeling. That's what it's called, isn't it? And also Seven says Michael, and also we there go Samoa, says Elia, and also let's go. So says Mr. Hardy there as well. They are currently talking to William Bucker, the Kenyan, was hanging up the boots after the Sevens leg. So it's a shame that he's going to be ending it, but he's been around on the circuit for almost 15 years, I believe it is. All right, good on you, Manu. Amalosi says Alofa there. And currently Samoa, they have looked very strong today for day 3. They've only got one other game. Anyone wondering when they will be playing? If Samoa win this game, which at the moment does seem pretty likely, they will be playing at 8:28 p.m. New Zealand time. So we will be starting probably 8:25 for that matchup, and that is in 4 hours' time that they will have their next game up against the winner of Ireland versus Great Britain, which is starting in 10 minutes' time. So we will very soon know exactly who is going to be going head-to-head for 5th place. Of course, we've also got a couple semi-finals coming up just around the corner for New Zealand. They will be playing France in first semi-final, and then the second semi-final, it is Fiji versus South Africa. Those two matches are taking place at, it is going to be 3:06 and also, 6:06 and also 6:28. Appreciate your work, brother, says Mr. Hardy. No worries at all. It is always awesome seeing all you guys in attendance for these live streams. Just makes the game that much more fun. Like, Sevens is already exciting as it is, but I always say it, having you guys here just makes it like 10 times better. So I do appreciate every single one of you for joining me for these streams. If you are new, hit that subscribe button. We're going to be back with plenty more Sevens. We've got Super Rugby coming up just around the corner. The Rugby World Cup coming soon. What else have we got? We got the Six Nations, more Sevens. It's all coming up on the channel. Pilomaleko goes back across to Milani Matavao. Inside ball now. They are still playing with 6 men on the field, but I believe the yellow card will be up as soon as this ball does go out. Darby Lancaster makes the tackle there. Milani Matavao now goes off to the short side. Little grubber in behind. It's worked out not too bad for Fa'afoi Falaniko. The ball was an ugly bounce though. Matavao knocks it backwards. Now Tuitama sells the dummy, goes himself. Doesn't pass often, and he doesn't need to at the moment because he is driving for break and tackles still going. Tuitama. He's looking for a highlight reel try. He's been taken down on the 22, though. Now Va'a Pilomaleko. Inside ball to Fa'afoi Falaniko, and he will get the 4th on a match for Samoa. Slams the ball down. And he's absolutely loving it as well. 2nd for his tries in Sydney. The 1st of the match for him. And Bulla Brother says Elia there. And also for Amalosi says Liz Marie. Good luck both teams. Says ESE, and yes, boys, Samoa. A big run from Tuna Tuitama. Eventually, I thought he was going to pass. He still didn't, though. like I mentioned, something that may be in his game in the future they might consider trying to develop, but he took it to ground. Then they found the short ball to Fa'afoi Falaniko, and he was not being stopped from there. Lancaster could try, just wasn't going to work out. A nice Falaniko, and we on. There's Mr. Hardy. Tell you what, they're looking very good today. Samoa, another conversion successful. They now move to 24-0 up over the Australians. And that's a massive stat right there. During the time that Samoa were down to 6 players, they got 12 points. Australia, 0. So the fact that Australia, with the man advantage, conceded 12 just means that Samoa are looking very good, and slams it down with authority, says Spacebar. And who's going to win the Rugby World Cup? It's a tough one. There are a lot of sides that are really in contention at the moment. I think it's going to be one of the side of the draw with South Africa, New Zealand, France, or Ireland. I just got that feeling at the moment, but then England or Australia, Argentina as well. A couple of very good options. It's going to be kicked high. Now slapped back by Australia. Maurice Longbottom goes across to Lancaster, who has to run sideways. Thinks about the offload driven down by Owen Nue, who's only recently made his way out onto the field. There's going to be the penalty against Samoa. The work and the breakdown. Unfortunately, Levi Milford just got a little bit too keen. He's also a name we haven't seen a huge amount of for Samoa throughout these Sevens competitions. Lancaster are now going to step, taken by Owen Nui again. Another offload. Sorry, another offside, I should say. Dunbar takes it quickly. Australia know if they have any chance of winning this game, they need to score 4 tries in 4 minutes. Now the offload from Longbottom goes to Henry Patterson. Draw and pass. Lancaster has to step on the inside. Goes round Levi Milford and scores the first try of the match for the Aussies. Is it too late for the comeback, or is it just beginning? 6-8-5. There's Essie there, but that is the third try for Darby Lancaster. He's looked very good throughout the SYDNEY Sevens, and I look forward to seeing more of him in the future. I believe he'll be going to the Northern Hemisphere for the LA Sevens and also the Sevens in Canada. Definitely with so many injuries here for the Australians. They're missing, who have they got? Nick Maloof, he is out currently with injury. Henry Hutchinson, he's out with injury. The list goes on. Lancaster doing very well to get that finish. Maurice Longbottom, that's going to hit the post and just bounce outwards, which does now mean that Australia, they still have a chance, but they need to get 3 converted tries in 3 minutes and 40 seconds. And it will now be Australia who are kicking this thing off. Taking some deep breaths now. Maurice Longbottom looking exhausted out there on the field, dripping with sweat. Even though it's overcast in Sydney, you know that the heat's still going to be kicking in and making it difficult for these two sides. Definitely testing the endurance. Maurice Longbottom kicks it off short. It's just gone the 10. Patterson does well to keep it in the field of play, but it does bounce favorably for Owen Nue, who has now got their hands on it, and Samoa get the possession back. Ball on the outside from Letufia. Va'a Apilo Maliko goes for the kick and behind. It's going to be a foot race, and it looks like at the moment he might just be winning it. Grubbers at 4. No, he's missed it. And instead, it's actually Paul Eti Slater who did the grubber. Now stolen, but they did have the man in the breakdown, not rolling away. Another penalty goes the way of Australia. So even though Samoa have been so strong with the ball in hand, there have still been quite a few penalties against them when it comes to the breakdown. So it might be something they need to work on before that next game up against Ireland or Great Britain. We have got nice Aussie, and also we've got it, boys, says Peter Stowers, and also a big Samoa as well, says John there. So far, last 9 penalties, we've seen 7 against Samoa. And in a normal game of rugby sevens, if they weren't scoring so many tries, that would cost them dearly. But they've just been so clinical with the ball in hand as well. So it's made it hard to fault the fact that they're trying to fight for that ball so much when any time they've touched it, they score points. Now, James Turner, around the short side of the breakdown. Roach going back across, little bit high, I think that was, from Va'a Pilomaleko, but also he was ducking into it. So there's an injured Samoan at the moment. So they're playing with 6 again, which means they're probably, it's almost going to hit the injured man. In fact, it's just managed to dodge him. That's going to be another injury. I think this time it's actually an injury for Stu Dunbar. No, it's Nathan Lawson who stayed down with a knee injury. One of the Samoan players looks like he's sleeping, or maybe something to do with either shoulder or midsection. And also we have got there no disrespect or offence, but Longbottom must have had to absorb a lot of banter back at school. I think so. But he seems like a very loud character, Maurice Longbottom. So I feel like he would have just yelled at them if they said anything and just shouted in their face, just like he did the referee earlier on. And Australia says Philemoni, and also 2 minutes left on the clock, says Blues Nate. At the moment, Samoa, they are sitting there on 5. Oh, ball stripped away by Maurice Longbottom. Little bit of feistiness there from the Australian skipper. He's not happy with the performance that they put on out there on the turf. And the thing is, with seeing that penalty count, with seeing that Samoa have had a man in the bin, Australia will be pretty disappointed to only have 5 points on the board. Now, just waiting to see if the Samoan player can continue. I want to say it's actually one of the guys who came off the bench. And Manu Samoa says Mu, and also Malolava from PJ in the chat. So anyone wondering when Samoa win this game, if they do, which they should, there's only 2 minutes left, they will be playing at 8:30 p.m. or so New Zealand time, up against the winner of Ireland versus Great Britain. We will also be covering that game on the channel. If you are new, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It's hugely appreciated. You guys all being here for these live streams, and we've got plenty more coming in the near future. Yeah, it does look like Samoan player. Who was it? It was, Nico just got that neck crushed, unfortunately. So that is the player who was down. He's back up to his feet now, though, which is promising, but it does look like he's very hunched over. I don't know whether he's concussed or whether maybe it's the neck that might be playing up. They might have to get the stretcher out there just to not take any risks with him. Unless they do try and carry him off the field. And it looks like Maurice Longbottom, he's clapping, which does mean he's now making his way off the field. He's not looking flash. He's quite hunched over and also slightly limping. You hope it's nothing more serious than just an awkward fall. Now, they're calling for the stretcher. He can't walk off the field. This does not look good for Fa'afoi Falaniko. One of the players who has been absolutely brilliant for Samoa throughout this 7 circuit, but he's going to lie back down on the ground now. And yeah, they will just take a little bit more time to make sure that he's going to be all right. Who you got? Ireland or England? Type it, or can type it below. I will go, I think Ireland are going to get the victory there. Even though Great Britain have had an absolutely tremendous run so far, I think Ireland in this next matchup up against GB should be able to get themselves the win. But we might have to wait and see. It could be a little bit of a difference. And also, bro, I was at the stadium yesterday. They lost to New Zealand in the quarterfinals. Gave a ticket away for today to a Fijian supporter. Says Norm, well, that was nice of you to do. And of course, Fiji, they will be playing in the semi-final just a little bit later on today. And that will be the matchup taking place between Fiji and South Africa. Absolute disgrace from Australia. Dominate against Argentina and die at France and Samoa, says Jacko there. And cheers, Amishini cricket later. Not tonight that I know of. We are going to have the quarterfinals, but I think George is keen to do another BBL live stream at some stage, or some sort of live stream based around some sporting event. So, yeah, we should have me and George back some stage in the near future, hopefully. Currently 2 minutes left. We are just waiting for Falaniko to be stretchered off. And that is why the scoreboard has also stopped at 13 minutes. Quite a few people in attendance for this one, which is absolutely awesome to see. Of course, they would have loved to see their Australian boys get themselves a bit further in the competition. But, yeah, it's not their day today. By the looks of it, and thanks for the commentary, Hamish, says Peter Stowers. And also we have the Amlao and Norm, says Spaceman and Cool, says David the Mod. But now Maurice Longbottom feeds the ball in for the Australians. We're back underway, ladies and gentlemen, for the last 2 minutes. Dunbar goes across now to Josh Turner, taken down by Owen Nue, who's on the ball. Has he got the turnover? No, he doesn't. Wait, what's that penalty for? What was that penalty for? Was it for not on his feet? Because I swear the way the referee did it. Okay, he said he was in through the side. Okay, fair enough. And also, bro, you made this day. Says a Blues Nate there. And also our supporters from Australia. Now, kicked him behind. Maurice Longbottom does another grubber, waiting for the bounce of the ball. It sits up for him. Pilo Maleko now wide pass. Samoa looking to try and defend this one with 7 men on the field, unlike earlier when they only had the 6. Almost stripped by Levi Milford. That's going to be the penalty once again. Player leaving feet. Putting that ball down via Pilo Maleko, using up a couple more seconds on the clock. Strategic work from the Samoan vice-captain. Now Australia close to the try line. One ball out wide to Henry Patterson. Double step. 5 metres out now. Maurice Longbottom goes across. In Australia, it seems like they're just lacking that last final pass that puts them through the gap. That could be it, though. Josh Turner, rush defence on Maurice Longbottom. Does find the pass out wide to Patterson, who juggles it. Now Samoa going to have the run down the wing. Motu Opitai finds the offload up to, it was Letufia who's been tackled. Australia pick it up. Dunbar back across to Dietrich Roach in the middle of the park. 15 seconds left. Australia, the most points that they can walk away in this game with is 12. Now up the middle, Dunbar. Dietrich Roach once again has it. Goes to the right-hand side. Looks like Australia's starting to get tired, and the handling errors have been huge for the Aussies in this matchup. Now Dunbar up to the halfway line. No way is that Fa'afoi Falaniko. He was down, and it looked like they were going to get him stretched off the field, and apparently now he's just fine. How did he do that? It's like the Terminator coming back. But tackle. Penalty goes the way. Bit of push and shove here. Archie Bargy, and it looks like one of the Australians, Dunbar, is not happy with Samoa. They're trying to break it up. Right. Letufia's going to the bin for a yellow card for the tip tackle. Dunbar might end up going to the bin for a little bit of afters as well. And Samoa is definitely going to win this match, says Dew there. And also, bro, you made a day in New Zealand versus South Africa final, says Spider-Man. Good thing, Hamish. I met Sevens, legend of Sevens, Eric Rush, yesterday at Allianz Stadium. Right, so even though this game should be over, now they're going to have a bit of a conversation. First of all, it was a tip tackle from Letufia. So he will be going to the bin for 2 minutes. Maybe even longer than that. It could be a red card. Okay. Letufia went low. Picked him up. Above the horizontal. Slams him down. So that's going to be a yellow card. And also we have got this. Samoa win this game and goes on to play Ireland. If they win against Ireland, will Samoa have a chance in the semi-final? Sadly, they can't make it into the top 4, Samoa, but they can get 5th place. Yeah, there's a forearm to the neck there of Letufia, which I don't think is necessary. So I think it's going to be a red card, actually, to Letufia here, by the sounds of it. Well, they said that there was a bit of a punch thrown, but I don't know if it was a serious one. It was more just a trying to get him out of the way. Elbow to the face. There's going to be quite a bit of a scuffle to end this match by the looks of it. So Letufia, I believe, is going to be yellow carded or maybe red carded. I think he's going to get a red card. Then Dunbar, I think, is going to get a yellow card for putting the forearm on the throat, or it might even be a red card. Right. It's a red card. So, Letufia going off the field for the red card. He now has to leave the field. Okay. He retaliated with the elbow. Okay, Maurice Longbottom asking for the punch. Dunbar's asking for the round the neck. Saying that he was choked, but I think the reason they tried to grab him round the neck was because he was trying to choke out the other Samoan player, so that kind of makes sense. So, both sides playing with 6 now. Number 15, sounds like Falaniko might also go off the field. They've had another review for either a punch or something. He knows that he's in trouble. He's got to walk it over slowly, going, what did I do? I didn't do anything. I was way over the other side of the field. Wait. So this is an HIA for Falaniko. So he hasn't got a yellow here. But the thing is, if he's got a... I didn't think he should have been continuing anyway. After landing awkwardly on his neck, getting slammed in the head. And they decided they'd continue playing. I know Samoans are tough. But Falaniko was almost on another level for a bit there. Now Patterson, inside ball, charges through Samoa. Still not giving up though. And the ball is loose. It's going to be a penalty. It's another yellow card. This game's never going to end. This time, it's Va'a Pelo Maleko. It's 6-on-5. We're going to have a one-on-one death match soon between 2 players. If players keep on getting sent off the field, wide ball, there's no one out there. And Patterson is going to score the try. It's not going to impact the game but Australia do get themselves one more to close out this one. The boys in the scruff are giving each other their TikTok accounts, says Nate. And also we have got their in the chat as well. Sorry, New Zealand put Samoa to bed yesterday. Fifth place okay, says Spider-Mick. Although the thing is, it's all well and good saying that, yes, New Zealand beat Samoa yesterday, but the last 2 times that we played Samoa, they have beaten us badly. One of them was badly. They beat us 22-0 in a matchup, which is a score that we haven't really had over the Samoans at any stage when we've played them in the last 5 contests. So I think we're pretty lucky. We don't want to get too confident just because we bet them once, because they're probably going to beat us the next time. And I was like, that's the first game, or the first New Zealand bet Samoa in the series. Exactly right. Enjoy the Kit Kat Spider-Mick and turning into a grudge match. This is the longest Sevens game I've ever watched. Yeah, and it has now just finished, and it is going to be the end score, 24 points to 12, I believe, is what it's going to end up at. Great game moves, those 2 late for Australia. And also we have got their red card effect / carry on into the next game. It seems to be a bit of a weird one, because sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. I think it depends on the severity of the challenge. Like that one was a tip tackle onto the head. So I guess just remember it was Letufia. They're going to be playing in 4 hours' time. We'll see whether or not he is going to be out there for that matchup. Because, yeah, I don't know whether... Because I would actually say if you get a red card, you probably get to play the next game. Because they probably don't have time to review it and have like a board meeting about what's happened in terms of whether it was cynical enough or serious enough for a suspension alongside it. So I think he'll be back next game. They might have him come off the bench rather than starting just to be safe, because he was getting a bit fired up there with the big tackle near the end of the game. But yeah, nonetheless, thank you all very much for tuning into this live stream. 24 points to 10, the end score in this game for the Samoans. They do move on. Shots of the commentary. There's PJ, no worries at all, mate. And we will be back, like I mentioned, for about that 8:25 p.m. kickoff that we will be seeing between Samoa and the winner of this game, Ireland and Great Britain. But thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel. We're on the road to 22,000 subscribers. So if you do want to help us out, it is hugely appreciated. Samoa, says Semi in there. They played very well. They had a lot of penalties against them, almost double figures. So that will be the one thing that they look to improve on before their next contest. But the running game was strong. Some nice, very good work, in fact, from Tuna Tuitama. Also, just that midfield of Falaniko, Letufia, all working together well. Looks like GB going to score the first try up against the Irish, but we will see you all a little bit later on. We've got semi-finals first before we get to that next Samoa match. At 6:05, it will be New Zealand versus France. And then after that, South Africa taking on Fiji. But thank you all very much for tuning in. And I will see you all for the next one.